how each of these comps are being played here. There's a lot of question marks for me for Elevate, because for Elevate, it requires playing off the setup that is done by Redco. Yes, it's something that they have done many, many times, but it's very execute heavy. It's very condition heavy. And also, if say Redco were the first person to go down, it might be a little bit harder to get on site as opposed to having like a Gecko.
Well, mid-aggression being shown here early on.
There.
Not exactly aggression, but more like a hold from RDA. And this is the proactiveness that I was talking about. I really like that. I like that triple setup. It's sort of Paper X-esque feel. That triple setup that they do usually. High, medium, low. This time it's not going to be the case, as Elevate do go in pretty deep out of the B main side, but going to change their mind and walk back towards A slowly. Shocked to check out the tripwire, if any, towards that mid-region, but nothing there. And this is actually RDA playing it really well, because now they're going to take fights as a team, and they know that this is going to be an A hit, as Nakia is just going to be jumping and flying into this A site.
Nakia already lost full control of this Hall's area itself. Just clearing every single corner. And for now, straight onto the side and just moves out of the way. Disables the Dizzy as well. He jumps through. It's almost so hard for the members of RDA to really figure out where to look. Mark Elwood for one at the very least, but Elevate, they've done the damage. It's all enough. As soon as Nakia zooms onto the site, everyone had all eyes on Nakia, and the other members of Elevate were so quick to follow through and just completely demolish the entirety of the players of RDA. Final member knocked down already from Elevate. Pistols go to Elevate for this one. As we know, this is Elevate's map pick, and RDA hasn't quite figured out quite yet how to deal with this.
It was still the first round, so it's not going to be too much problem. And there comes a tech pause.
I think you're the problem.
I'm the problem.
Yeah. I mean, we were together at Convergence, and that was the longest tech pause you ever had. I haven't had a tech pause in MYSG in a while. You come here, so therefore you're the problem.
It's been 3 maps, Tash.
So?
So how am I the problem
because there's no tech pause before this.
Hey, the players might have some issues, man. Come on. Look at them.
Okay, Universe. Okay, let's hear your breakdown of that around here, Universe.
Yeah, I'm going to say that RDA really have a great understanding of how they want to play this game already. That triple stack on towards high mid gives me the idea that they are focusing on taking fights as such as a group, because they know that Sunset is a map where you need a bit of a groupism kind of play. You need the buddy system, if not just for 2. The more the merrier, the better. Because a Cypher can alone hold that B side by himself. If you've got the Gecko, you know that he's going to be playing A. The remaining 3 can be used anywhere in the map whatsoever. The Raze can be a pivot across both sides and whatnot. And I think that they're going to try and keep making sure that they're keeping Elevate on their toes, making them think twice about if there's going to be a push on A main. Is there going to be a push on B main? Are they going to, try and poke mid this time? And I'm looking forward to that from them this time, because if they are going to be the same, a little bit more passive approach, then you just saw the potential of this Elevate, attack. They had Nakia just running in. He just took in the first bit of control, and they just flooded into the site like it was nothing. All of them together. And that's a little scary, especially when you don't know if there's going to be a lurk behind that. Are you going to be caught out? Are you going to be sandwiched? Or is it just going to be an outright brawl right in front of your face? It's a little scary to expect that. And RDA need to play a little bit aggressive themselves to try and curb that aggression from the opponents so that they don't turn into mincemeat.
One way to put it, mincemeat, huh? Into this one, though.
Yeah, I've always been an advocate for the Neon, yeah. So
I know that you've been an advocate for Neon. I mean, again, I think I was kind of hoping we'd see a Neon on Lotus just now. Unfortunately, didn't get that, so I think we were both very disappointed. Seeing a Neon here, well, I wouldn't say it's the most outworldish thing to have a Neon on here, but personally for me, I'm still a big fan of the usual take. The Raze is great. I think the Gecko almost a non-negotiable for me. If you ask me, excuse me. But for Elevate, the idea of this group side play, yes, I agree with you. because of the how they have kind of put together their comp. What's the downside of this comp, you think?
Of Elevate?
Mm.
I think the one and only thing would be them not being able to, you know, or trade as quickly as they would have wanted to when Nokia runs into a site, right? That's the only thing that I feel like would not be possible because a Gecko Flash, while I really agree that it's a great dynamic to have because you can throw it from anywhere. It's really vertical. It's really multi-dimensional. Whereas a breach flash is if you're looking at it, you get blinded. If it's there in the vicinity of your screen, you're blinded. But if you're turned around, it's not going to blind you for more than literally zero point 0.3 seconds, right?
Hmm.
So I think if Nokia is going to be set up on the back of that breach flash, there's going to be nobody running behind him as quickly as he can. Flaring, yeah, he can, shroud a step into the site. Agreed. But Nokia sliding in, and if he doesn't find the value out of it, then the trade-off potential is kind of low. So that kind of, routinely is going to cut off Nokia's playing because then he's going to need one player constantly with him to trade off. That's the only thing I feel like that could be a detriment. But even that is, an if. It's an if because if they've got a game plan on the back of that Neon, then hey, well and good. If they got a trade plan, well and good. I would really expect them to have it, and I think they do. That's the only thing I can think of so far.
I mean, when you look at neons, right? I think the only neon I can really think about that's playing really really crazy right now, at least in VCT Pacific, well as well as Americas, we have Jogamo as well as Monyet, and these two neons are terrifying in a way that they're able to just completely run through, slide up, just completely shoot you in the face. They can
Agree.
multi-frag. It's very different to what we're looking at here with Nakia on this Neon. At least for round number one, that's all I can say right now because we're on tech pause. But Nakia, he's the one making the distraction. His teammates come through and just follow up. It's very, very different than the space-taking potential we saw from Jogamo and Monyet.
I agree. I do believe that there's still a lot to unfold here. Of course, it's just been the one round, so we're gonna hope that there's a lot of different play-ins that's going to be coming into both these sides, especially the fact that they're under attack. It does drive it a little bit more. It makes it a little more exciting to see how that breach and neon combo are going to be setting up these kills for success, especially towards that ace site
Right.
elbow, which has always been that one little place where the raise is set up, right? You always have the raise in any team whatsoever with the operator or even with just the jiggle jump peak towards that a elbow side. That single agent is usually placed off there to cut off that a push or even at least have a look at the constant attack, and that works. How they're going to be tackling that, especially given that the Gecko is usually going to be paired with that. I'm hoping that they're able to counter the Neon, and unless, of course, they had no idea that this was coming. Did you expect the Neon to come out of Elevate, though?
No. If I'm being honest, no. I mean, Nakia has been insane on the raise, so I didn't really think that they needed to change Nakia onto a Neon itself. But, end of the day, I think Elevate really wanted to change it up. They really want to catch RDA off guard. Again, RDA, Elevate only played 3 maps on this, 3 games on this map. Losing 1, winning 2. That's already a lot of info already given out for the style play, and especially since they're playing it very, very recently. I also want to bring your attention to Pud J. Pud J today has
Mm-hmm.
played so many different agents
Yeah.
from the initiator to a sentinel, previously
Mm-hmm.
a duelist. This kid can
Yep.
pretty much run any agent. One of the best flexes I've seen so far. And what's more interesting, he started off as a duelist. And I'm seeing a lot of these young players sort of move toward that Forsaken style play, play so many different agents. And this allows, coaches from so many teams, especially from Elevate's team, to really play around so many different styles of comps, especially if he can swap roles around. Riza has been playing
Yeah.
the Sova as well as the excuse me, Cypher. We've seen him on on the, Killjoy itself. Sorry, it's a very long tech pause. So my brain's slowly
Yeah.
turning into mush. Production's laughing at me.
I Well, while versatility, of course, is appreciated, I really hope that it doesn't, distract him from what he can do best, and that is aim. Pudgy's not had the most, blow out of the park games so far across the 3 maps,
No,
but
especially last
he's
map,
kept
I
his
think.
team. Yeah, he's been consistently, giving the support that his team needs. He's been doing really well in terms of the support staff, and I think that Pudgy continues to do that in this game. It should not be a problem. And as I say it, tech pause, the black band has been removed off our screens. We're good to go, ladies and gentlemen. Apologies for the delay, but Elevate are ready to take it on in the second round with their anti-eco.
It was really interesting. For RDA, they've been able to win these eco rounds. Elevate needs to make sure they're able to really seal it this time around. They want to really be able to capitalize and just snowball slowly into the and disallow RDA to bring them into map number 5. Bit more of a slower style push here into round 2, as Elevate try to find at least a little bit of info. Can see pings throughout market as well, so might be an idea for Nakia to just quickly just slide into sight, perhaps go straight to market, maybe take up space all the way up into Boba if he wants to. Gonna be spotted out here. They know that the Cypher is somewhere close, but he's already positioned himself all onto A. So that gamble stack that they've been putting together did not really pay dividends here. Flaring all the way onto the back of sight. The fast lane giving them all the space they could need to make it all the way to the backside. But for RDA, they've been a team that's okay with playing these retake rounds. It's gonna be Nakia gonna go a little bit more aggressive. Spots one out, moves out of the way, will be punished at the very least. But Redco, quick on the follow-up, Battle in hand, 2 to his name. Doctor is here, good for 1, Pudgy, quick to trade. And now, despite the gut advantage here, they still lose 2, but Elevate, they're happy with that round. They bring forward all of their rifles.
Yeah, no problem whatsoever. Nakia was cleared to take the fight there. He did have just a ghost. And I was a little bit worried for a second there that they wouldn't be able to actually, take off the trades. But Redco stood right across the pillar, fine 2. And now it's going to be RDA's first buy round. How will they respond is the question. It seems like B is once again going to be a favorite. Unless, of course, they keep doing that, what we've seen from multiple teams before. Keep it attacking B until it tires you out. Or until the half's over, whatever comes first.
Speaking of interesting comps, we saw a very interesting one played in VCT China recently. Where we have a Sage as well as the Raze walk up A main. B main. Just see if no one's there. Jump up toward the window side on main side. Then wall up. See if they can manage to get a pick off. I don't know why, but I was sort of expecting that from Elevate. They've been a little bit more creative with their comps. Spots no one quite yet. Nakia done his rounds onto B main, spots no one. Deciding, okay, perhaps it might be a Cypher heavy side this time. Don't really want to risk it. Let's move their attention onto A. And Pudgy here, setting up just to clear out halls. Changes his mind. Decides to play a little bit more closer. As he just completely bursts onto the site. He has Spike. It's all about just trying to find the right pickoffs and just completely enter that. But look at the amount of players from RDA onto A site. All just waiting. He is close, spots one out. Enough for chip damage, but enough for more. Recon onto the side itself, and they answer back. Fast lane's on. Paranoia is here. Dizzy as well, thrown. Nakia takes a lot of damage here. Sube moved out. Sube solo, Sube for 1, and so does Fixie. Fixie, 2 to his name, and Nakia cannot do more than that. RDA was ready for this play. They saw it in round 1 and round 3. They answer back.
Redco did activate the Rolling Thunder there, but unfortunately for him, Nakia got caught in the middle of it as well. I feel like if he hadn't, that would have been an easy round for Elevate because Nakia was stunned up. He was taken out by Sube. One stunned person against the other. Only one can win there, and it was going to be Sube with that shot straight to the head. RDA, not the cleanest of rounds, but it's still a round indeed that they're going to be taking and moving forward. As Elevate now still have a full buy available to them. And they're going once again towards the A side, this time with a lot more speed.
Lexi's still holding on halls just now. Didn't go down too fast. Jiggling here, as you mentioned, Universe. Spots no one yet, but he knows there's a few close. Chip damage through, not enough. That is just going to clear him out. Buys a bit more space, a bit more time with the paint shells. Recon bot going to find him. Pushes him out here, will be the fault line. Aftershock doesn't clear him behind the boxes, and Nakia finds him hiding at the very corner. Sube going to trade out Riza. Finds 2v2 with Doctor joining into the fight as well. Nakia, 2 to his team. Completely walking throughout the entirety of the site. Just popping heads. Now the other members of RDA just trying to buy some time. Sube quietly making his way through halls.
Spike planted.
Not sure if the members of Elevate are aware that he is there. Jansen has been doing quite some big heroics here in this game. Pajay finds Markel. Jansen for 2. So low. And Jansen's heroics is enough to give RDA another round. And now it's a 2 for 2 on Sunset.
Sube's lurk was absolutely paramount to their success. He made sure that as soon as they took off of the chaos, he needs to make a quick move towards elbow. And he did it really quickly as well. Didn't really care much about what's going to happen. He let his teammates stay on site. He let his teammates stay on A main, keep the pressure on the attackers, and let them even take spawn if need be. But because Sube had a really good angle to occupy, and he made the most of it, taking out 2 players there. That's going to give them 2 and 2. And this is going to be an eco for Elevate. 1 Vandal on the hands of Redco. As here goes Nakia. He's got the fingers of lightning, and he's going to clear out the entirety of the A site without even touching anybody.
I really like your name. Fingers of lightning is much better than finger blast, which I would have said. Overdrive taken out here. Doctor was ready and anticipating for it. Neural theft used. Hunter's Fury put out as well. It's just so many alts used as well. Pajay gonna find some value onto Jansen. They know exactly where Flaring is, hiding in that corner. Gonna be shock darted out. Will be traded. And Markel good for 2. Pajay pops ahead. Can't do more than that as Fixie cleans the round. Nico gonna be from Elevate, but an eco they cannot convert into a win.
Gone here.
Yeah, a lot of ultimates committed here, of course. They had Sova. Yeah, they had 2 ults committed here on the back of, I would say a little bit more investment would have probably, you know, justified them putting in that much effort. But it's still a full buy that comes in. They got the plan, so the money was, you know, secured in the bank. It's not going to be too much of a problem. Redco with the only Vandal. I thought that this could be around that they execute, right? But Nakia this time was the one to slightly overcommit. Unfortunately for him, his overdrive doesn't last too long. So he's going to have to try and push it out. So he did what he could. Unfortunately, it wielded no results. Great flash, and now the commitment!
Oh, that is disgusting! You had the recon, you had the flash come through. 2 knocked down already, 3 in fact. Jensen playing tiles to perfection. Riza here alone, he pops 1 head. Can he go for 2? He knows Jansen is close by. He's at the mosh, gonna just try to isolate 1 area with that cage. Unfortunately for him, the thrash comes through, and Fixie will follow up with that, so cannot do more and more than he can should. Excuse me. What is my English today? That he should. Into this round, RDA, they knew there was gonna be another A hit. It was a huge gamble if you think about it. Throwing out all that util in 1 go. But he paid dividends and they completely collapsed off of it.
Yeah, a great setup play from RDA here on the back of the Gecko util. The flash first up, Thrash on the back of that, the Sova recon to make them feel more uncomfortable. And in the end, that double spray down. Nakia, oh, the spot out was amazing, the jiggle. But unfortunately, no connection for him. Rolling Thunder being affected here. Can they get the frags? No, they will not.
Fixie with that op is just so devastating. Coming up forward, Redco does pop 110, and so does Riza. Neural Snap's gonna be traded out. Redco, bit of an upgrade. Gets him the value onto Jansen. They pivot away. They know the Neural Theft is going around. They need to find a reposition. Breaks the door onto mid-side. Full control of at least into market. But Jay's here, trying to catch the Doctor. He spots 1 out, unfortunately. Moves straight into tiles itself. Doctor checking to see if he's still there. Finds no one. But slowly but surely make his way onto A site. Moves away. If his timing is right, he might be able to be caught off guard by Pajay. Puts his smoke through, and it's gonna be him that wins that fight. The elevation on his side.
enemy remaining.
Goes for two, in fact.
Wow.
Very aware. Great game sense coming in for the Doctor. There's a reason why that is his name. Reve once again finds himself at the last man standing. If he can isolate this fight, it could work out his favor. Timing! If he just held, it could work out. Still holding, fights the Doctor,
remaining.
good for one. Can he do it again is the question. Spots on the cam, he knows where exactly Fixie is. The jump peeks forward, he just needs to buy some time. Fixie going for the defuse, and he sprays, and Reve
Oh my
saves the
God.
round for a 3! Might be a little bit of an early celebration here. But he takes it. We take those dubs, man.
Well, that was a great bait up from Reve there. I think he really tried to make sure that the bait was that he fell off of the cliff and came in from the bottom. Really well played. The Doctor, he did so much. The awareness of knowing that Pudjay is going to be walking in from spawn taps him out of existence. But unfortunately for him, Elevate had one trick up their sleeve.
He's one of the most consistent players in Split 1. All eyes were on him when he was in DSG. Now joining Elevate, stepping out of the IGL role, he seems like a whole different person with how he plays his frat game. A lot of sound cues, a lot of util thrown in from inside of halls, and Fixie, he stands strong, he hasn't moved at all. But for Elevate, not spotting out Fixie, it's possibly left a lot of question marks in their mind. Gonna reconvene up onto mid-site.
Yeah, Fixie, given that much of space, actually is a big problem. Why? Because he's not been pushed off, which means that they don't expect this to come A, and the Doctor is found flaring his counterpart towards mid. That's going to be a problem. No more smokes available for the attack here, which means they're going to have to take fights head on. A couple of cages not going to protect them for too long as they head in towards Market, and the ultimate comes through the Hunter's Fury. Not going to connect to anybody just
Yes, it
yet.
does!
Nakia!
It was just one pickoff on
Yep.
the tiles, and everything completely fell apart for Elevate. You really gotta give it to RDA.
It was not just about the one pick either. It was about which one the pick was. They lost the smokes, which means high mid was completely uncovered. Just a one Cypher cage. And they had to rush into the B side because they had no other option. Going A was not at all possible. They had no smokes, so which means they had to go the way which had the smallest choke point, which was Market towards B, spawn. And unfortunately for them, there was too much pressure.
Speaking of pressure, once again, Elevate feels that. Fixie, quick to punish, and Nakia. Dare to double dip will be taken out. This situation, Elevate finds themselves once again scratching their heads. Yes, it's had pretty good success on this map, but it's RDA that's played this map a little bit more. Has a little bit more idea what to expect from Elevate itself. Jensen gonna find Redco, just lurking out mid side. Quick move toward the area onto the platform. Repositions himself on the other side. It's hard to really pinpoint where the other members of RDA is going to be. That's been the biggest problem from Elevate. As one member dwindles, you suddenly find yourselves in a situation where you don't have the right utility to get to site. You don't have the right utility to go for the execute. Takes out the camera, the util comes through. They already know where everyone is. Markel takes out the space. Riza pops one hit, but not before. Markel says that's enough, sir. Flaring answers back. But the gun disparity is a bit much for Elevate to deal with. And RDA, a 3-round differential away from Elevate.
Yeah, that's a great bit of a cushion to sit on. Elevate haven't really been playing this to the best of their comp's abilities, and there comes a timeout from them as well to try and, reconsider what the game plan is going to be. Once again, it was that one little thing that I spoke about, Nakia not going to be able to get a trade. He gets isolated by himself as he tries to go for a peek. That just happened towards Amen. Yes, it is an eco. Yes, he just had a sheriff. That still calls to the fact that it is a tendency that could come into play at any given point of time. They cannot let Nakia just, run out by himself and not have a trade come on the back of it, or at least swing out as a duo. Give him a sliding opportunity to go for the wide swing, and somebody just comes up close and takes the fight more advantageously. As of right now, that Rolling Thunder is a big win condition while they're still building up to the other ults. They've got the Neural Theft coming in one. They've got the Hunter's Fury also up in one more orb. And this should be a great round. If Elevate are able to actually convert this, the ultimate economy build-up is going to be amazing for them because Nakia, too, could get the overdrive within the next round.
To say that, it also means for Markel, they don't really take up the space quickly enough if they take up too much time. RDA has been really quick to punish that. They go aggressive, have no idea where to go, just check out mid. They always push together. That buddy system that you mentioned in the pre-game just now, Universe, is something that I've been noticing that RDA has been doing quite very, very often. This time around, it's Fixie. Up in hand. Not found at all by that recon, so he's able just really just double dip if he wants to. No one knows his presence here quite yet. Spots one out. Fixie, gonna be happy with that Nakia pick. Nakia has been pivotal for the space taking for Elevate, being the distraction as the teammates just completely flood onto the site itself. Markel finds no one here. Thought he could get close enough to just activate that Neural Theft, not able to. Gonna move his way, using the cam instead to find some information. As Elevate cuts the noise, you see pings all around here from Elevate. Talking about maybe taking up market. Perhaps he can go about taking out the back of site. And here we go, that execute we talked about, flaring quick onto the site itself. Location unfortunately gonna be found. Mixie has repositioned himself so quickly, and Markel and him, a crossfire comes through. Flaring good for two, will be found in the end, but not enough damage. Not enough to break the defense of RDA. And RDA, they're on 7 already.
Amazing stuff here. Once again, the hold off was incredible. I'm not quite sure why they didn't expect the operator to be there. The Chico peeks while he's holding a stun, or I believe a flash in his hand there, back of it, Redco. Feel like that should have been released a lot more earlier, but they let Nakia take the fall. While yes, they've got a bunch of ultimates to work with here, and they could get the overdrive as well. Another round of commitment, but here goes Fixie with a really aggressive showstopper that flushes all of Elevate into B main.
Gotta go.
Here at inside, Nakia is still very, very close. Flaring already on the side itself, and now still a bit more quick onto this side, but it gives them enough idea that everyone is going in for that flank itself. Flaring all the way to the back of side. Nakia will be the one popping hits with that Sheriff. Rolling Thunder finally uses it to take full control of Boba, but he's going to mark L with that up. Finds Pud J. Thrash will be used as well. Nakia, at least the overdrive is in hand. It's all about trying to find the right opportune moment to use it. Time running out for that overdrive. Frieza gonna find craniums upon craniums alongside Flaring. Mark out with that up, but Nakia is just quick on that trade. It's just one of those situations which is so interesting. Nakia for 3, in fact, didn't get that value from the first overdrive he used, but the second one, he does not allow that to slip away.
What a round. It was a commitment of 3 big ultimates here, but it still paid off dividend in the most important manner possible. Up for Elevate here, and it should be a big round for them because a 9-3 would have been a humongous deficit. By the way things were looking, it could have been a 9-3, but this brings a little bit more life into their being as they look at the A site for the final attack, which is a great read here, Tash, because nobody really occupying inside of that site from RDA. They've all played this on a bit of a retake, and Markel being the only point of contact with the operator this time.
Staying inside of the smoke with a shorty. I don't know where to dare to push through.
Ooh.
Forced out of that because of that shock dart. They cut the noise. This leaves question marks on RDA's mind. Are they pivoting? Are they changing up? It hasn't really been the case. They have planted themselves onto B side. It seems to be that site where Elevate has been actively pursuing. But they go toward A once again. They hover over on the outer edge of the site itself. If someone were to push out of halls, they can go for that punish. They can go for the pickoff. Nakia will not be punished this time. Fault line used. Finds no one. Punch Hey! He tries again!
What?
It's gonna find straight into Markel. Nakia this time has swapped guns all the way. Moves over the other side. Pajay is here, spots one out, but Sube with the wide swing catches him off guard. Flaring, playing it a little bit close. Gonna quickly find one, and tracking the rings through. Riza finds Sube, Riza for through! 2, excuse me! As Nakia finds another one.
That's a humongous recovery here from Elevate. With the way that they were being dominated, pushed around, and kind of toyed with, this 7-5 half does not justify or even describe how this first half has gone so far. These last 2 rounds, yes, they've been pretty good from the side of Elevate, but they still got so much more work to do. And now that they're on the defense, they've got that breach that's really annoying. We all know it. Breach on defense, especially on a map like this where the choke points are really tiny, is so annoying. And if played right, which he has been, Redco has been absolutely amazing with his breach, this Elevate team could step into the grand final at the end of this map right here.
Some insane setups previously on the map with that breach. I'll be able to see it again. Nakia is here. Gonna play off flaring. They move forward. This is exactly the setup we were talking about. VCT is the one to find 2 in back. The setup is punished. How on earth they get away with that? Redco is there for the recovery, but not before Sube finds him down. Pajay finds Markel lurking towards mid-site. Despite the chaos, despite a lot of aggression coming in from B main, it dwindles down to a 2 versus 2. Sube is so low.
Enemy remaining.
Doctor dares to push out. Will be rewarded with a pickoff onto Pajay. Riza, we've seen him able to get out pickoffs all alone. He knows where Sube is. Puts out that cage. He's gonna just quickly put in some pre-fires through. Spots a Doctor. Doctor is okay, just move out of the way. The tap to go half. Takes a bit of damage. From that, he tries to go for the stick, but what can you do? My question was, why did he get off? Why did he try and isolate these fights? Perhaps too ambitious there.
Yeah, I'm a little confused, first of all, with that setup itself. Like, you know, what an amazing setup that was. Everybody blended, everybody stunned. It was really well played out there. But unfortunately, Fixie was able to just get 2 while he was blind and stunned. It was insane how that just did not wield the value that it should have for Elevate. And Redco found 2 while standing on site and taking a straight-up fight against 2 other members.
This time around, it's going to be mid-site push. A lot of space to get out forward. Recon use. Gives a lot of space for Fixie to play with and completely walks to Riza's space. But Riza comes up on top.
Down, B.
Super good for 2, but the recovery from Elevate has been massive. Picking up some upgrades as well. Markel and Doctor finds themselves in a situation where it's so hard to move into. But for Elevate, look at these crossfires. Close the door. They know where to look at Boba as well. If someone were to push through, it might be detrimental. Markel, wall bang, gonna give some value to him. Finds Pajay. Equalizes the amount of members they have in the team itself. They know where he is. The Doctor is here. And now Redco alone. I think the Doctor knows exactly where he is. And RDA finds themselves in a win once again in a round that should not be theirs. What on earth is happening?
Well, that just turned things around once again. Elevate came really close to trying clutching that round. They got some great pickoffs on market, but slight bit of, I would say, curiosity that, you know, they needed another pick. They needed another bit of space to play with to clear off a little bit of pressure off of them. Kind of sends the defeat straight down their spine, but it's not a problem. It was an eco, and now they got a full buy. And there is a 3-man stack on this B A side. Forgive me! Oh my God! Nakia!
It's okay. The recovery is here though, because Flaring was gonna get 3 out of that. Nakia was just merely the distraction, as Flaring will be the one to clean up that mess. Now Markel and Jansen this time will be the last 2 standing. You have Riza holding on one side of top mid. Jay's here as well, alongside him.
Standing ahead.
Gonna go for the scan. They know exactly where Jansen's gonna be. So quick on that pop as well. Jansen finds Pajay all alone in a 1 versus 3. We've seen magic happen. Might be a little bit of a tall ask here. Can't go through market. We see a trip. We see a cage. Yes, he can go for those head pops. Yes, we've seen him go big with the Sheriff. But in situations where Elevate has protocols, have a gun in hand, know exactly where it is. He has been stunned, but Flaring quick to follow up with that, bringing 4 in the pocket.
Good round from Elevate here. Made sure that they curb the aggression towards that A main side with their own. They were so quick on it. Nakia got shut down so quickly, but then Flaring was ready for it. The stun, especially from Redco. Once again, that breach showing how annoying he can be. in these, close quarter, forgive me, in these choke point situations where you just cannot get out of it. And they were just stuck there. They just stood there accepting their fate, and Flaring delivered it to them.
Nakia wants to do it once again this time around. A little bit less aggressive. Rushing up forward, just jump peeks all around, but not enough to just really wide swing and get punished for it. RDA finds themselves to a mid-side once again. Riza, fortunately his trip has been taken out. Loving the fact there's a lot of pressure onto mid-tiles. We did not see that from Elevate in their tech round.
Yeah, that's actually really smart. They knew that the minute there is no door closing happening towards market, there is going to be a tripwire there, broke it down instantly, and that's going to crawl a little bit of pressure into the pockets of Elevate towards that B site. They've got Nakia set up towards deep mid, and he's got a crossfire set up if at all needed from the breach. And Flaring, he needs to get away here. A lot of utility coming his way. He's got to flash himself, but he's going to keep it in his pocket for a better situation.
Still a hold regardless. Not enough to really pull the attention of Elevate off the B side itself. Markel is already here. Look at that, Pudgy is playing close by to him. Ready to trade out, ready to see if anyone were to come in toward market. Time is of the essence. They need to go onto the side itself, and Riza completely just plays off of his utility. He just gets one even when he's flashed by the Dizzy. Sets up another cage. Just gonna quickly just spray and pray. He's been doing that so well. Tap, 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 he goes. No A's for him. Nakia is going to clean it up.
Another brilliant round here from Elevate as they slowly creep up. They're getting closer and closer to RDA's 9-round total so far. And this is an eco. But it is a really important round because look at the ultimate economy of RDA here, Tash. They all are away from their ultimates by just 1 point each. Riza, really great round from him, but he needs to pull off another one here. He's got the neural theft, but look at the ultimates, like I just mentioned. Fixie, Sube, Jansen, also just 2. All of these players are just 1 each away from their ultimates.
Not to mention...
That's going to be a scary thing in the next round.
Yeah, not to mention that those situations where RDA has been able to capitalize on these thrifties. Jansen especially, and the Doctor sharp with those sheriffs. Trip gonna be cleared at the very least. The Pain Shells does that. Jansen does have his utility to play with once again, and this time around they capitalize to find Riza. Good Riza at the very end of that barrel. Pudgy good to trade. Sube for one more. Again, Tila's told us time. RDA the low buys. I don't know whether it's a change in pace, a shift in mindset, but they go insane here. Reiko on top of that terrain. Finds one. Sube playing this angle to perfection. And RDA, the Thrifties look so good on them. Perhaps Thrifty is their middle name.
Well...
Rev Thrifty Arena.
Kind of has a nice ring to it. I like it. Yeah, not too bad. And on the back of which they've bagged their ultimate as well. They used just the one from Jansen to make sure that the round was secured when he pushed off into CT. But that initial push-up, a little bit of extra, peek outs from the smokes from Elevate's players throws them off guard. And RDA now at the cusp of taking us to Abyss. You need 3 more rounds, including this one.
Go, go, go! Elevate have found themselves in a bit of a lead just now. Loses it once again. A lot of pressure made toward mid-size given RDA quite a significant amount of success. Redco positioning himself toward mid. Ready to trade off and play off Nakia if anything were to push up. Smokes all around. Defaulting, trying to find as much information as they can. Markel alone once again. They do find him out. He gives all the information that they are going to be hitting B site. And just now, Riza, despite that hold, a phenomenal play he did with his util, the second time around, he was punished. You see Sube is quickly using his util, trying to spot out Riza, finds no one. Riza's trips are still there, and this time his trips are a little bit more close by. No follow-ups quite yet, and finally it does come. Hunter's Fury used as well. Riza is so low, Fixie good fight punch, and Fixie goes for 2-3! In fact, playing off all of the utility his teammates have set up for him, Flaring and Redco all alone. Fixie's sharp, The flaring might be a bit sharper here, but it's not enough. With 5 HP, it's so hard for him to take 3 people, and flaring understands when to concede.
This is going to be a save. Unfortunately for Fixie, he was hoping for that ace there. Came way too close to achieve it. But he's going to be happy with number 11 coming on the board as well for his team as they inch closer to Abyss and Elevate here and need a game plan. I'm pretty sure that a timeout might just be called in here. If it's not, I would be worried because I think they really, really need a bit of a composure talk. What's going wrong? How do we take it down? And no, flaring. He's been pulled off his feet as well. And there it is, the timeout. RDA have forced the hand of Elevate to be a little bit more desperate in this situation. 11-7. And with the overdrive available, they do have an option to, give out one entire site of the map, bit more aggression. And I believe that they could go for a pincer movement here, especially towards the B site, where they push in from B main as well as mid together. They cut off the entirety of mid elbow and towards A main with the smokes and let the overdrive do the work as they pinch from mid to B main and push them all the way towards their spawn. I think that would really help Elevate. It is a risky maneuver, in my opinion, but I think that at this point, taking risks is what might help you because playing safe clearly isn't.
I have to agree with you on that. In this case, let's see whether or not what you predicted or rather what you said will be what Elevate what brings to the table. I'm just really questioning what exactly has RDA been doing to be able to make it out into this 50 rounds. But enough of that. Round starting once again, and this time more aggressive approach. Push out toward A, finds no one. Redco saying okay, might not be an A hit, but it's gonna be mid once again. This tiles control taken up by RDA has been such a problem for Elevate to deal with. Can't really tell where they're pivoting to, can't really tell where they're coming from. Maybe they're gonna push up toward top mid. Maybe they'll go in, get a pick, take one member out of Elevate and just move out of the way. And that's the problem with Elevate. They're spread out so thin because of this mid control that's been set up by RDA. This round Fixie cannot move forward, cannot push out. That one-way smoke is there. Gonna be given back, answered back. The utility buys some time for him, but it doesn't deter him from pushing up forward. Roomba just gonna clear out these angles, these corners. Flaring is there, they know that he is there. Flaring forced to play a little bit more on site with his teammate. The Doctor swings out, good for 2. In fact, finds 2 of the members that's playing in the site.
I know exactly.
Nakia finds 1. Neural Theft already gonna be used as well. Jensen quick to answer. Finds 1 more to his name. Members of Elevate fall 1 by 1 despite their hold. And again, they're forced to go for the save.
Yeah, but this save, I'm not quite sure is going to be as useful for them because the hunt is on. They know that they're nowhere close to this A site. And they can just leave the spike ticking off by itself as they go and delete these weapons from the server from this round 19. Look at how close Markel's already made his way. Just a wall away from his counterpart. Does not get the kill though, but they know exactly where he is. Riza's down to 30. And here comes Jensen. This is going to be really, really unfortunate. Unless, of course, Riza continues to smash.
He's already marking the Doctor. He's so quick on that.
Yeah.
What a read.
Really well played, but it's RDA at the end who's going to take the round. It doesn't really matter how many weapons they lose. They've got the money in the bag. It's not a problem at all. Everybody's going to be able to buy in and do more. The Doctor has got money for days if need be. He can drop another 2-3 Vandals if he wants to. But this is a round that Elevate should really capitalize upon because once again, I've mentioned the ultimates. The economy that they've got with the ultimates has been so good, but somehow the conversion of the rounds behind those ultimates has been not that great. They've not been able to actually capitalize upon what they've got in huge, huge value of numbers.
Still the same setup for this defense play for Elevate. mid pressure that's been put out by RDA, again, gonna be a problem for them. You can see pings all around, so both teams are aware that it's gonna be a mid area that they have to really be wary about.
Deploying drone.
Owl drone deployed. Hasn't spotted out flaring quite yet. Ooh, there we go. Now he does. He just quickly goes for some firepower. Bit of pressure, but not enough for him to really just push forward. Flaring's presence onto halls just really deters the ultimate of the Omen to be used. And the cage set up here by Riza by some time. RDA once again. A second attempt onto A site. Flaring smoked up already a one-way, but it doesn't really matter. They're already inside of the halls area itself. Flaring's only good for one though. As they move on to the site itself, Rolling Thunder will be expanded here. Misses Sube. Here comes the Hunter's Fury. Renko goes out, but Paje gonna answer back onto Sube. The overdrive used, fast lane as well, just to really just cut the site into half. Finds no one near the spike itself. Knows exactly where Jansen is. But Jansen's sharp. Thresh already online, throws out straight to a knockout. Will be taken out.
No, not
And
like
every
this.
single thing set up already. Going down into smithereens. And RDA take the round and elevate. Despite their best try to really protect the site. Can't do more than that. And RDA just showing us that they can go the distance. Yes, Elevate Yes, Elevate are the favorites. But they challenge this team all the way to map 5.
I have no words. I wouldn't expect them to, get it out of the park like that. Maybe another round, but the ultimates were committed. You had the overdrive, the Hunter's Fury, the Rolling Thunder. It missed one small little edge in that corner, which allowed that final kill to come through, the most important kill onto the breach. But I still feel like there was a bit of a misclick. Once again, the movements on both sides from CT and from the main side of A, they were not coordinated for the side of Elevate. They just did not peak at the same time, and there was a lot of issues overall. This is a really great RDA win to take us to the map of Abyss. And yeah, I'm just, excited for what's about to come.
Personally, for me, I think if anything, RDA is really capitalizing on how much pressure they put